It's War Dragon time, RPW here, and it is the 19th of February 2019, which means we're coming to the end of the Winter Joel season. Now, before we get into this video, I want to thank everyone for being so patient, so kind, and for all the reach outs that I've got, either by comments on my videos or messages in the game or in line as I've been going through a very tough few weeks. And I just want to thank you for that and being very patient with my channel. Now, with that being said, with all that went down, I didn't have time to do, of course, last week's Talk Dragon Tuesday, and I was honestly thinking about quitting the game altogether. That is how stressed I was, and we'll talk a little bit about that shortly because there are going to be some plans for my channel, and then there will be some changes that I want to discuss. So, but anyways, we will be doing the winner announcement today, and the winner will not be for last week, but it will be for the Talk Dragon Tuesday that I did last time, so it'll be from 2 weeks ago. So that announcement will be going out today. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the event coming up, the event that just passed, and some of the things that are coming into the game, including some possible changes coming your way. Now, of course, this is only going to be stuff that I know about. I'm not going to put out imagery because it seems like there's a lot of tweaks that is happening along the way, not only on the public forums, but even to the creators faction that we're not 100% on yet. Well, I don't feel like it's 100%. So I'm going to share with you as much as I can, just in case you aren't on the forums, you know, keeping up with that kind of thing. But anyways, if you guys are new to my channel, you're just coming around, thank you for coming in. I'm super excited to have you. Don't forget before you leave to, of course, hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. And before you go, of course, always make sure you support my channel by giving me a big thumbs up. It keeps me going. Now, last week we actually had the fight pits, which literally just ended. And if you and your team are struggling in any way with the fight pits, be sure to check out my my event guide series, which you can find in my playlist, so you can better understand how the fight pits work and how you can best work together. Also, if you are new to my channel, you probably don't know, but you can enter for a $20 in-game pack giveaway every week here on my channel. Now, this is one of those things you have to stick around for the details. Sometimes I might ask you a question you need to answer that I may have snuck in my video, or I might just ask you to put a hashtag and something that you're interested in or whatever. It's just to get the conversation going and let me see what it is you guys are most interested in. Now, with that being said, stick around because later on we're going to be going through the winner of this last Talk Dragon Tuesday, but we're also going to give you the information on how you can sign up for this one. Now, these $20 in-game packs are provided by War Dragons to those that are in the creators faction. And I want to thank them, of course, for supporting my channel and all of you here so that you can come here and find all the information you need to know, as well as the possible chance of winning a $20 in-game pack, which is going to be really useful to anybody this coming week, if whoever wins this past one, of course, to use for the upcoming event, which is the Fortification. Now, if you don't know a lot about the Fortification, that was one of my favorite events early on. As I'm getting bigger and I'm growing a little bit too fast, it's the one that I'm not as crazy about. But with that being said, I've done a lot of videos on the Fortification. I've done tips, I've done event guide series, I've talked about them in live streams. So be sure to go through the plethora of videos where I really talk about the one thing that was my biggest passion early on, which was the Fortification. You can make a lot of points, even as a little person, and be up there making the same amount of points as like a level 400 if you're only like a level 60, for example. So as long as you know exactly what to do and how to do it and are preparing properly for the Fortification, you can, at any size really, you can make some major points in the Fortification, but you still have to be careful. You can overdo the Fortification and then you completely regret it, you know, which is one of the things that I've done. Now, I, of course, have had like a crazy past couple weeks. As y'all know, my brother had passed away a few weeks ago. I think it's been a few weeks now. It's like everything just merges together. But I did a video on this and we talked about how, you know, it was a struggle and I was going to take some time off. And it actually happened the call came in the middle of my Talk Dragon Tuesday session, actually. So I do want to apologize for not getting around to getting all those done, but I want to thank you for still coming into Talk Dragon Tuesday and being very supportive and, you know, going ahead and entering into those contests. That's pretty important to me. However, there will be some changes that's coming to my life within the game, the creators faction, and on this channel. I need to learn how to balance, and I say this all the time, balance is important. But the thing is, guys, I really need to practice what I preach. So the channel that you're going to see here, a lot of the videos you guys love may not come back full swing ever again. because, you know, it takes a lot of time to make you guys these edited videos. Not only am I going through and making the imagery, doing the voiceovers, editing, and then posting and all this stuff, but it takes a lot of time. Now, when you just do a live stream, however, you can get a lot of video done in a very short period of time. So, for example, a 30-minute video live stream takes 30 minutes, but a 30-minute video like this might take me 7 hours to create. So I've got to learn how to balance things. So you're going to see a lot more live streams coming from me. I'm wanting to do, you know, this week later on, we're going to see a coffee live stream where I come on with my morning coffee, and anybody else wants to join in the conversation, we'll be in here to do that. And then, of course, I plan on keeping up with my drunk live streams. I think you guys really like those. But I'm going to keep Talk Dragon Tuesday, and then I'm going to do one edited video per week, hopefully. So in one week, it might be more on the lines of Atlas. Another week, it might be more Beginner's Guide series. Another week, it might be an investigation. It just depends on what I feel is important or what I'm most creatively, you know, pushing around in my brain. So later this week, you can expect some live streams, maybe one edited video. I can't guarantee it, but that is what you are going to basically see. With that being said, guys, I'm also changing some things up in my team. We're actually going to drop down and make the game fun again. You know, enjoy the game, enjoy each other, and not be so extremely competitive anymore, which I'm very excited about. Now, with that being said, I do plan on doing as much as I can my interview videos, because I feel like they're very, I don't know, they're very amazing videos. Like, I really love talking to you, the player, and, you know, bringing it out for everybody else to hear the conversation and what everybody else is thinking. There are still a lot of issues in the game that PG is, you know, showing they're trying to make progression on and changes in and so forth, but there's some things that are still not being taken care of, and I think the best way to make these changes is to bring you guys in for the discussion. That being said, of course, I've already got a lot of you that would sign up for, let's say, the past prizes, and you actually put in that you were interested in doing interviews, so I'll probably be reaching out to some of you shortly, and I'm actually going to bring some outsiders in that are friends of mine to do some interviews as well, because I want to talk about how this game affects our lives. You know, that's the one thing that we don't talk about in this game, is how putting this game so far ahead of everything else in our lives, we tend to forget all about the people around us that love us and care about us, and we completely disappear. So I think one of the video topics we should talk about is just that. You know, how to balance things, how to keep your family just as important as this game and keep your friends here and so forth. I think this is a very big discussion that definitely needs to be faced. So I've got some surprise guests that I think you guys are really going to enjoy coming up very soon. So be sure to stick around. And if I haven't heard from you and you're interested in an interview, please let me know. Now, this week they will be bringing back the Super Sigil chests. Now, when it comes to these chests, I'm only telling you they're coming, but please don't think that I believe that they are worth the cost of the rubies. I have never, okay, I've used them in the very beginning. Like I bought some, or bought them, but you know, opened them up with my rubies. But one thing I've noticed with me, I don't have the best luck with these. I will hear other people say, man, I got like 6,000 sigils in the Super Sigil chest. Oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you're awfully lucky, because I'm lucky to get 960. And I've noticed that I get almost as much in opening up 10 gold chests than if I open this, plus the goodies to help me with, you know, the upcoming event or the current event I might be in. So for me, Super Sigil chests aren't massive. I feel like they're overpriced for what you get. But if you are into the Super Sigil chests and you have the great luck of opening these bad boys, you'll be excited to know that they do return this week and next week. So get those rubies ready and, well, start rolling the dice. All right, speaking of rolling the dice, let's go ahead and roll the names through and see who won the last Talk Dragon Tuesday's $20 in-game pack. And of course, as soon as I get this name out there, we get this video going, I'm going to send your name up to, you know, War Dragons so that they can send out your prize. All right, so all I have to do with this thing, I love this, is put in the link to the video, click, you know, on a button, and then it rolls the names for me, and it's saving me so much time. So from here on out, you're actually going to see the winner from the previous Talk Dragon Tuesday here on this show. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this through, and this winner is going to be the Dark Campus. Thank you. I'm glad you love my videos. Anyways, congratulations. You are the winner of this week's giveaway. All right, so what I want to do for this week's giveaway is you're going to go down to the comment section below this video, and you're going to put your in-game name and an estimated amount of hours you think you spend playing this game. And I don't mean in the app playing. It could be, utilizing Line to talk to your teammates, making videos for your fellow teammates, whatever it might be, alliance stuff, not necessarily just playing the game, but anything War Dragon related that takes up your day. How much do you think you do a day? Okay, so go ahead and put that in there. So it's going to literally be your in-game name, and after that, you're going to have the number of hours you think that you're spending playing this game. Because I'll tell you what, I know I was putting in 70 to 100 hours a week into this game. It can get a little obsessive with me, and I'm trying not to be so obsessive. But let me see what your obsession is like. Are you bigger than mine? Is it less than mine? And if it is less, can you tell me your secret? Yes, tell me your secrets. Seriously, guys, I don't even know how I keep up with eating because it just gets that obsessive. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump into the news of what you're going to see coming up this week. There's actually going to be some changes coming to the Winter Joel Dragons. If you haven't noticed this on the forums, they're actually going to be talking about this. Now, mind you, this is just being released today. And the first thing that's changing is the UVS Dragon, Erd, Verd, and Skurd. Now, he does have this spell called Rampage. They're going to bring in a new spell for it called the Well of Power, which is a white zero rage spell. And what it's going to do is the dragon's going to gain 50% increased rage regeneration and 100% increased breath damage for 3 seconds. Now, upon building destruction, the dragon restores 16% of its modified HP as health, and it does have a 5-second cooldown. Now, the reason they did this is the dragon was really struggling to kill towers whenever the Rampage spell was on cooldown. And they noticed that the long cooldown of this spell made it very vulnerable specifically to the Ice Flak super shots. And they felt that it wasn't performing in the manner that it should. They really wanted to balance this out. So this should help out quite a bit. The next thing is Cert. Cert has Burning Hatred, and they're not changing this spell, but they're changing the percentage on the spell. So previously, you would actually get healing per tower destroyed of 25% of the dragon's modified HP, but they're dropping this to 15% because they've noticed that with the Ragnarok combo and the Burning Hatred, it really was making him almost impossible to defend against. So this is going to allow them to, really balance this dragon out. We don't want overkill. You know what I mean? You don't need overkill. The next one is, which is Skull and Heidi. Heidi, I don't know. I cannot pronounce them. So I call them Bert and Ernie, by the way. So Bert and Ernie. I went and got this dragon. I did a live stream on this dragon, talked about how I was going to do some things. Well, some stuff went down. I really didn't get to play much. So I'm just now getting him to a Sapphire Stone. So maybe I can come up with another drunken live stream with this dragon. But previously with this dragon, on its spell called the Solar Valley, this dragon would reduce your... whenever you would utilize it, it would reduce the amount of, attack you were doing by 70%. Now the damage is actually only reduced by 60%. And then the Moon Shroud is actually dropping from an 8-second cooldown to a 6-second cooldown. The reason they've done this is they noticed that there were a lot of complaints about the dragon and the play pattern wasn't as good as some of the others. So they were noticing that this dragon was not making very many people happy. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have a review on this dragon prior to this change. So I'm not going to see how well this change did, but maybe, like I said, this will allow me to, do another video for you guys, because I'll look for any excuse to get drunk and come on and try to kill your base. I mean, it is what it is, right? Anyways, so we will get to that on a later date. I'll let you guys know when I do decide to do one, and we'll take that guy out for a spin. Anyways, so if you are on the forums, you've seen a lot about that, but there's also some things they're talking about in the forums right now, which is like the quality of life discussion. Now, with this being said, they are really trying to make some differences in the game, like, smooth out some issues, try to make some things that make us a little happier. And one of the things being, like, for example, the 300 wall. And according to them, they're actually working on this right now. So we'll see if any changes come up with that soon. Pretty exciting if so, because I just reached 300. Now, with this being said, they've also talked about maybe improving, buildings times and scaling gold chests and making up level up rewards and all of these different things. So if you are interested in seeing the changes that could come to this game and being a part of the discussion, please don't, ignore the forums. Go over and tell them what you think. Be a part of the discussion. And, you know, try to be civil about it, because there's no better way to make somebody shut down and not listen than by being, you know, rude and direct to a point of rudeness. Like, seriously, there's no point in it. But anyways, with that being said, guys, I wish everybody the best of luck with the fortification event this week. Now, remember, guys, a few quick tips. Just a few quick tips. Boost your bases. You know, people are coming after your stuff. Boost your bases. That's a big one. Make sure you, of course, bounce your resources to another player. If you find someone similar level, you guys can sit and bounce resources back and forth up until the time that the event starts. That's a big one. Another one. Go watch my fortification event guide series. There's so many tips and tricks on there that you guys can utilize. So if you're finding yourself struggling in this event, I get it. Now, if you're on a team that does not have Atlas or does not have castles, you may struggle up against teams that do. But I've seen teams without it that have really kicked some butt. So anyways, guys, that is it for today's video, and I really want to thank you again for supporting my channel and being so kind over the course of the last few weeks while I got my crap together.